Hey, practitioners, welcome back to Functional Medicine 2.0. I am Dr. Z. I've got Alder in the house today. Say hi.
Hi, everyone. So happy to be here.
So happy to have you here, too. Listen, I'm a grumpy hot mess today. I'm a little under the weather and I'm in a perfect mood to bitch and complain about this. Let me tell you, our topic for today is how the functional medicine industry gaslights new practitioners into playing small. And I have so much to say about that. It's literally part of why I started Functional Medicine Academy. And to have something that was honest and ethical and taught you what it really means to run a successful practice and business. But I'm just going to put this out here. I want you to just hear this right away. They gaslight you that you have to have another certification, that you have to have another training, that you're not going to know what to do, that if you don't understand this enzymatic move or this SNP, forget it. The whole thing's going to fall apart. And who benefits? Well, guess what? The people telling you and the gurus standing on the stage saying this, all they sell is training. That's all they sell. So if they can't keep you in training, then they're not making money. And Alder can tell you, we actually incentivize our staff and build monthly reoccurring revenue, not around the training. The training is the starting point because you shouldn't have to be there forever. What we incentivize around are what are the tools that's going to help you grow your practice, be successful, have more time management, all of those things. That's what we focus on. And it's so, so important that, we built the whole business model around it, but that's not what the functional medicine industry does. So that's just how I want to start.
I'm like, let it rip, doc. You take it, you run with that. Yeah, no, 100%. It's the way that the industry is built. And when practitioners come in and when they're dealing with setting up a business, trying to get certifications, they're scared. And you're right. We do incentivize time to first win. That's a huge bit, as well as usage of tools to make sure that practitioners are actually bringing in clients, not just learning more information, even about business. Because you can follow every business coach, every guru, get a new mentor every other week in business, in clinical, whatever it is. And that does not mean you are bringing money into your practice. It also sends me into a spiral about marketing companies too, because they're the other one that is constantly like, gimme, 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 and there's no return on investment. Return on investment is the number one thing that my coaches are looking out for, that I look out for when I'm looking for new clients. And it's the thing that drives our clients to success, because without that, and of course, there are things that come up. People have life happens. There are ups, there are downs, there are things that prohibit them, but getting people to their first wins, getting people to have people coming in their doors and not just stuck in the cycle of learning and not doing. That is the ultimate death to a practice, a business, no matter what industry you're in. If you're just constantly absorbing and wow, I know how to run this business, but I'm not actually doing, it doesn't equate to anything coming into you.
Doing is everything. And this is part of why we're doing this podcast. It's because I sat quietly back when other people told me, no, you can't do it. We only allow the big boys at this level. And I just blew them out of the water. So yay for middle-aged mamas everywhere. But all the crap they said, all the gaslighting they told me personally, and what I see them tell practitioners all the time, it just pisses me off. And so I was quiet for a while. I was like, let's just do our work. Let's just put our heads down. Let's do our work, take care of our practitioners, start building a better model, and they'll eventually see it. They'll change. They'll catch up. And no, they won't. They just doubled down and it just pissed me off and I don't want to be quiet about it anymore. And it took a little while before I went, oh my gosh, they're in the business of making you feel small and inadequate and not competent. And then that feeds their coffers. And they seem nice, but it's not right. And it pisses me off and I'm not going to be quiet about it anymore. So if they really cared about people being successful, they would move them forward faster because learning never ends. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you better have a love of learning. You're never going to stop learning. And again, it's built into our business model. Our first main certification takes anywhere from, I don't know, a couple weeks to 2.5 months to get through. That's it. Okay.
Mhm.
Everyone else, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years or longer. And
Yeah.
I've seen people in Facebook groups going, well, how can it really be good if you're
Oh
doing it
yeah.
that fast? It's got to take a lot longer. And it's like, wow, they can't even pull their heads out of their butts to see the light. Who cares if you're the best student, but you're not even doing it? Right?
Yeah.
Like, and then we offer 4 certifications every year, plus deep dives every 2 months, plus daily clinical classes. Like, so the learning never ends, but this is what they're forgetting. Okay. Wherever you go, this is what they're forgetting. The biggest teacher of all is experience.
100%.
And nothing is better than doing. That's what
Mhm.
will drive your learning more than anything. I'll have someone come in and they're like, okay, I want to do advanced hormones in women. I'm not really worried about the men right now. And then all of a sudden they get a male patient. Well, guess what? Now they're going to whip through that advanced hormones in men, right? Or it's like, I'm not going to do the hormones. I'm just going to focus on this. I do brain health and mental health. That's what I'm going to focus on. And then someone comes in and they've got a complex thyroid issue. Oh, okay, let me go through that, right?
Yeah.
And the patients make the demands that drive the learning, and all these other institutions, organizations, training companies, they are robbing the practitioners of that opportunity.
100%. I was literally talking to someone yesterday. This exact conversation was like, well, am I really ready and prepared at the end of that if it's that short? And the answer is yes, because you're bringing in all your experience on top of honing in the skills around functional medicine, right? And not only that, but the ecosystem we provides support, real support, which people are not used to. You have on-call people that you have, they're not used to it.
They've
You have
never seen
on-call.
anything like it.
No, not at all. You have clinicians there waiting to answer every question that you have around functional medicine, around a potential client, helping you review labs. You have LabDX, which is an incredible, incredible tool to help you get through reviewing your labs, creating protocols now that it has all these additional tools as well. It's so fortuitous that no, you don't need to spend 3 years studying functional medicine, because you actually have a support system that if someone is like coming into you and you don't know, you can say, hey, I'm going to get back to you on this answer. I want to run it by some colleagues and some other people in the space to make sure I'm giving you the most up-to-date and best information. I'll put it in your notes, or I'll put it in your follow-up of what we're going to do next. It's as simple
100%,
as that. That's
100%. And let's talk about what ready even means. Who's ready? No one's ever ready. Like, if ready means you anticipate everything that's going to happen and the answer is just always right there, that's not real life. People
Yeah.
are complex, right? They've
Yeah.
got other things going on. You don't know exactly what they're going to say. And you want to learn the human body. You want to learn your clinical care. You want to have supplements or prescriptions or whatever you use that have a certain response that you can count on. But that patient's not always going to follow the textbook answer, right?
Mhm.
They're going to challenge you. They're supposed to. They're supposed to. That's how it's supposed to work. So what you really want to think is not are you ready or not, but who are you and what are you willing to do and how are you going to respond? How are you going to show up?
Yeah.
When a challenge comes your way, who are you going to ask for help? What effort are you going to put in to find the answer? And if you're honest and you have integrity and you know you're going to do a good job for your patients, then that's what you need to focus on, not this idea of ready, because no one is ever ready for everything, even in a day. When you wake up,
Yeah.
you don't know what's going to happen, right?
No.
Is it going to be an
100%.
ordinary day? Is it going to be a fabulous day? Is the basement going to flood, right? Just how are you going to respond to life? And so that's why, this says gaslighting, which sounds like strong, but seriously, I just
It's
realized
not overbearing at all. Like, I think that's a very true depiction of what's going on, especially in like the mentorship, within different mentorships and different programs you were talking about, all the bro dudes. That's like the best that I can describe, that are like, yeah, you need to wake up at 4 a.m. every day and you have to do XYZ and you have to be this ideal picture of perfection in order to actually even own a business. And then people are chasing that because they're thinking that that's what they have to do in order to see success. And those people aren't even actually doing it themselves. They put that facade out there so they can be the loudest person in the room and call the most attention and make the most money off of practitioners and keep them in that fear base. It's a true gaslight of like, this is what I'm telling you to do, but actually the needle is moving and I'm not going to tell you that. And in order for you to be successful, like you said, they really just need to know themselves, but instead they're kept in that fear. And it's horrible to watch over and over. People spend so much money thinking that they need to reach this ideal of education, or this ideal of their schedule and what it needs to look like before they get started, and it's keeping them stuck.
Gosh, no doubt about it. I woke up at 8:45 today.
Nice.
It's not always like that. Sometimes it's early mornings, but I'm under the weather, whatever. I value my sleep, I'll go for 8 hours a night at least. And I'm not at that phase where I have a little kid that I have to get off to school anymore. So whatever. Yeah, you set up life to work for you. But yeah, I just was thinking, like, who benefits when practitioners doubt themselves, and how unusual it is that we built a model that's building them into to be confident. And it's not going to hurt our business. Like, our business model is okay. Like, we're built to grow the more confident and more successful they are. Why isn't everyone building like that?
Because they're not built off of that. Their success comes from keeping people small. And that's why we focus so much on what our business model, and we pivot. This is also another thing I was saying. Like, if advice we gave 3 months ago is not the same as the advice we give today, but the advice next month might be the same as the one back 4 months ago. And we might have to go back to that original model. And there's no shame in that. And I think what happens is people think that they have to always present something new, or they have to always get in front of the trend, or it's always going to be something different. But there's humility in our business structure. If something works, it doesn't matter if it's old or new, or it's happened before, or it's never happened before. We're going to tell you, hey, this is what's working right now. And I think that a lot of these other mentors that are profiting off of keeping practitioners small are always moving the needle to seem up to date and seem new and seem trending. And that's like a huge, they want that virality that comes with it. And in reality, that's, again, not bringing practitioners actual patients. It's just keeping them on the forefront of their marketing without worrying about anyone else being them.
I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about that. You're talking about that marketing out there that says ticket model is dead. Don't charge $5,000 for a program. Charge $99 a month.
Yes.
And people are seeing that ads everywhere, and that looks good, but they're not carrying it through. That's a terrible idea. And the reason it's a terrible idea, this is a low ticket upfront, low ticket membership model. And you would have to have 50 people come in order to hit 5,000 versus one person comes in at 5,000. No one pauses to think, and that company that's marketing, they're not telling you what the operational lift is of that. How many people can't figure out how to log in, right? How many people get stuck? How many people want refunds? How many people will come in for 1, 2, maybe 3 months and then they're gone? How much marketing churn you're going to have? How many of those $99 a month will never ascend to a bigger program? And you're going to serve 50 patients at $99 a month, and you're going to make $5,000 a month? You can't survive on that. It's crap. They would do better if they told you, listen, do something free, do a webinar, do a group, do something like that. Get rid of the $99 gatekeeping, make it free, have them come in, educate them, nurture them, bring them to a no charge consult, or then bring them to like a low cost lab launch or something, and then move into a program. It's a terrible 100%. Idea, but they're marketing it a lot. So it shows up in all the meta ads. Everyone sees it on Facebook and Instagram and like, oh, that seems like a good idea. That'll be easier way to get new patients. So, I mean, it's almost like two different things, marketing that's not ethical because they're not really presenting a model that's sustainable, total burnout for the practitioner. They don't even understand what they're getting into. And then these training companies and certification companies that just want to keep you in their educational model. They don't care if you ever graduate. They don't care if you're ever successful. Oh my God, you know what it reminds me of, Alder? It's like MLMs. It's recruiting. It's like recruiting.
Yeah, it really is.
Just pay this money to ascend, keep paying this money. And then, there's some promise.
Just go up in tier.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It really is. It's so hard to see because I'm on the front end. I see the practitioners coming in that have gone through other programs or that have gone through that education, or that they have packages or no packages, lack thereof packages, or fee for service, 3-page menus of things
Oh
that
God.
people can choose from. Oh my gosh, the amount. Anytime I see a menu, I'm like, oh, we have some work to do here
I know the
because
name. I won't say it because that's rude, but I know the name. I know where they came from if they have that.
Yes, 100%. But I see those and the transition, what they're having to hold onto, especially the main practitioner that owns the practice, what the load that they're having to hold in marketing, in fulfillment, hiring, trying to keep the people they hire in order, making sure the value is conveyed to the customer, losing customers because they're no longer overseeing fulfillment in the way that they should be because they don't have the systems, because they were told to run this low ticket membership and now they have 100 people. And these 100 people are all expecting, high tier service when they haven't paid for it. And you
A
create
hundred
this
percent.
narrative. Yeah.
100%. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh, it
So we're like, oh, like, man, it's just such a mess when that
it's like a
happens.
cult, and I want to be the anti-cult. And you know what? Some of these training companies, they also bring religion in. I don't know what the heck they're thinking.
Yeah.
Your religion is none of my business. So I want to be the anti-cult. I want to teach you to trust yourself.
Hmm.
I just a flat fee for expected services, and I'm going to under promise and over deliver.
Yep.
Um, and I've had people ask me, Alder, they went, well, when we earn money, how much do you take? And I'm like, are you freaking kidding
I
me?
know. I
None.
have people ask me that too. That
None.
happens to me too.
Who's
Yeah.
out there doing that? What is wrong with them? Oh my
Enough people that
gosh.
that gets asked so often, like, okay, what percentage are you taking of my profit? Why would I be
Nothing.
taking
I want
any of
you.
your profit?
I tell people all the time, and it's like, it's so anti every other training, but I was like, listen, you need to make money. Your
Yeah.
first offer, I just had someone, they're like, okay, I'm going to sell my offer for like maybe 5 or 6 thousand. Okay. That sounds good. And my
Mhm.
hard cost for it is 3,500. Stop. This is bad. This is very, very bad. What is happening? You want 75 to 80% profit on your first offer because you're just starting. You're getting the
Yep.
ball rolling. Guess what? It's not easy. It's work. It's friggin' worth it. It's life
Mhm.
changing for you, your patients, your community, your family. It is so worth it. But welcome to business. You need to make as much money as possible in the beginning to keep your doors open so you can hire
Mhm.
help, so you can build up a bank account. Hello, what about taxes? No one wants to talk about that. Taxes are your biggest bill ever. So there's
Yeah.
all these things we do and we teach that are so important, and no one out there is talking about it. But I want to teach you that whatever your religion is, great for you. Lean on that. Fabulous. That's none of my business. Okay. I'm not going to make you do any religious thing. I'm not going to try to convert you to my religion. I'm not going to do any of that. That's yours. You own that. What you do with your family is yours, right?
Mhm.
The money you make, that's yours. Yay. And the more money you make, the happier I am for you, right? Now you're just like getting started has challenges. Success brings challenges too. I'm going to
Oh
help you
yeah.
face those new challenges and teach you beginning, mid, advanced tax strategies and wealth building and all of this. And I'm going to teach you how to like think independently. And this is so important. And this is where like these companies, I think caution becomes control and
Mhm.
smallness becomes obedience. I want to teach you
Mhm.
how to be your own leader, not like
Yeah.
I'm your leader, I'm your guru. Oh, I don't care. I don't give one crap about that at all, right? I want to teach
Yeah.
you how to be a leader, how to build your own team, how to grow your own confidence, how to find your own answers,
Mhm.
right? So I want to be the anti-cult training company.
I love that. I think we're nailing it. So far, I think that's pretty solid with where we're at. But it's true. It's really sad to see the progression of what it looks like when a practitioner has gone through not the anti-cult, the cult that is telling them exactly what to do and how to do it and what they need to be showing up for. And it really puts the practitioner last. If you talked about marketing companies and then you talked about certifications, my least favorite thing right now is when I see someone where they're like, yeah, my marketing company's great. I get 7,000 views a video. I get this many people. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how much money have you made?
Oh
Zero.
my gosh.
I'm like, Yeah, sorry to break it to you, but that's not actually helping you. If you can't convert on an audience that's being put in front of you, then either one, you don't know the skill of conversion and we can help you and teach you that and get you through it. But two, they're probably not putting viable leads actually in front of your material that would even ever convert.
No, it's crap. You're just making Zuckerberg money. It's just video views or traffic. It's
Oh,
people who will never do anything. But the marketing company can say, well, I promised you $5 cost per lead, but it's not anyone who's going to ever do anything. It's crap. You're just giving them money. I hate that.
yeah.
And
That's like one of my
I
biggest
feel like you don't understand it and you're not ready yet is code with these companies for don't outgrow us, right?
yeah.
And they don't want to elevate. Like I know one, they just teach how to do a course. That's it. And so it doesn't
Oh,
matter if courses are working right now or not. That's what they sell. So they're going to
mhm,
find some way to sell it. And I think it's too damn lazy. If that's not
yeah,
what's working right now, then as a company, they should be helping their people and putting in front of them what works at the moment, even if that
yeah.
means they have to invest in more staff or they have to redo their education or, I mean, I just think that's responsible, but I'm shocked no one is doing it. And
No,
it's
they're
just
not.
because it's easier for them.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, listen, I'm the director of fulfillment. The fulfillment load when we pivot and change, it's a lot, right? Like what it takes to actually be authentic to the practitioners and serve to them on a platter what is working right now in this moment is a lot. It requires work, it requires passion, it requires dedication, it requires good leaders to be able to keep your team morale up and make sure that things are going. They're not doing any of that. They're holding their hands out. They're saying, "This, go buy this course that I built 3 years ago, go through it, and I will collect the money. And if you run into issues, well, that's just how marketing works, or that's just how business is, or whatever the excuse is for them." And it's just not acceptable anymore because, especially today, with the society and the economic status that most people are dealing with, you can't be throwing money down the drain. No
No,
one wants that.
you have to turn it into something, right? You got to
Yeah.
turn it into something, right? And when you do it right, it's the biggest return you'll ever get. It's better than the stock market, it's better than anything else. So investing in yourself, learning how to build a business, all of these things are good as long as you actually do the thing, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no return. And I
Yeah.
won't say the initials, but it's a training company out there and they don't even offer a certification. And this practitioner, they took them for $60,000 and they only teach one thing. Oh my gosh, could you
Mhm.
imagine if we just did one thing? I mean, probably you could, because how easy would that be? We'd be on
Yeah.
vacation all the time. But no, it doesn't work like that. We have different practitioners, different styles, different states, different countries, different communities, different patient bases. We've got one thing where
Different
we teach
wants.
52 ways to get new patients, right? You have to have different answers. And so she's a physician and she's like, this sucks. And I went to them. I was like, I'm not going to do that. Why, only that one thing? I'm not going to do that
Yeah.
one thing. Is there any other answer? And they're like, nope. And you're in a contract. So you're stuck. And so I'm
Mhm.
like, all right, well, we need a plan now that you need
Mhm.
to be able to earn money, not only to get your practice started off the ground, but to pay this off as soon as possible because this is not going to, this is not going to serve you here. So
Yeah. If
very
one
frustrating.
size fits all doesn't work for health, why would one size fits all work for business?
Ding,
It's
ding,
just not
ding.
the way it works.
So important.
Yeah.
And they're all out there. Be careful. Don't rush. You're not ready yet. You need more training. You need more credentials. You need more permission. You can't do this without us. Everything, even the ways we serve patients, like there's things, this, Alder. There's things that they're like, I'm going to keep working with you guys. We do a very low ongoing monthly fee. It's ridiculous. The only
Mhm.
reason we can do it is because of volume. We
Mhm.
charge less than the cost for the thing, but we have enough volume we can pass that savings on to our practitioners. So that's why we do it. We could have been greedy and gone really high, but that's not. We figure out what we need to cover expenses, take care of business, have a decent profit, and then that's it. There's no gouging here, right?
Yeah.
So even the tools that practitioners are like, I want to keep that tool. This is just, this is easy. This makes my life better. It's super
Mhm.
efficient. Let's go. I love it. We teach practitioners how to do all the things. We teach them how to do it on their own. And the other
Yeah.
ones aren't teaching it. It's like, no, you can't do that. And I believe people are capable and they have the ability to learn.
I agree. What you said, practitioners should be able to do it on their own. If they are not able to run it and learn and do the thing on their own, then they're not a business owner. If they're reliant on the mentor or the company or the business to make sure that it continues to move forward, they are not in control. You are paying for someone else to run your business, and more than likely, they're not going to do it properly. They're not going to do it the way that you would do it. I had someone, every once in a while we get someone that's like, I want you to build everything for me, right? Like we have the people that come in, they're like, I just want you to do it. The reason this is the thing I explained to them. The reason that Dr. Z's program works and the reason that we do things this way is because it infuses our process with each unique practitioner. Without their unique fingerprint that they put into the marketing, the funnels, all of the pieces, it doesn't work. The investment that they make is what translates into the success. And using our framework, our teaching to learn and expedite and super speed it, that's incredible. And we're here to help them, but they have to know how to run the business on their own. And all these mentors are like, just follow me, follow what I say, follow the things I do, stay on the bit, right? Stay chomping on that bit. And that's not actually building sustainable business owners.
No, I want to teach you how to be a leader, how to grow in confidence in you as the clinician CEO, right?
Yeah.
And that means really mastering all the different pillars in your business and what it means to, be more confident in your hiring, be able to set boundaries. I was talking to some of our superstar clients the other day, and I said, one of my coaches, I call him Billionaire Boy because he sold a business for $1 billion. I won't say any names. I actually know a few of them. How crazy is that? I can't even imagine the B word, and yet I get to hang out with a few of them. And one of the things he was great at teaching me was how to really, I already understand human behavior so well because I wrote the book, right? But how to set up hiring and comp plans and incentives based on that person's behavior and that they'll really perform to what they're incentivized to. And that means, what is the job role? Because this is how most people hire, right? Oh my, and I've been guilty of it in the past. Oh my God, I'm drowning. Please come in and help me. What am I going to do? I don't know. Figure it out, right? But so much better when it's this is the job, right? Here's what the role looks like. Here's the expectations I have for you. Here's a base retainer and the key things you have to do just to be on the playing field. And then you have to do things. We're going to turn these into KPIs. So key performance indexes, right? Things we can monitor and clear expectations that move the needle. And you need to hit those. And when we identify those and we know what we are, then we can turn them into incentives. There can be financial compensation. So in that sense, you control your own job. And you control your own destiny, and you control your own paycheck. How lovely is that? So it's a completely different way of thinking and hiring and working with the team and working with yourself. But, that's just one of the things we've tweaked over the years that's worked so well, and to have such clarity. Or even how you work with your virtual assistant. I taught a whole class on that. And I remember clients being like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing any of that. And it's well, that's why you're frustrated and not getting the results you want. This is going to make it so much better.
100%. Yeah. The practitioners, when you hire, before you have those systems in place, the scorecard, what people are required to do, you relinquish control over the outcomes, and you now don't have control over what that person is doing. You're relying solely on their skills. And while they may be absolutely incredible, you are the business owner, you are the CEO, you have to know what the output of your business is, because that's how you guarantee success. That's how you're able to market. That's where your message comes from. And if you have lost or relinquished that control in any area, you're spinning. And that's what we see with a lot of these practitioners. I'm really upset this person isn't doing XYZ. Oh, do they have a key performance indicator that would indicate that they need to be doing this? Oh no. Do they?
And are they incentivized to even do it?
Are they incentivized to do it? No.
I just talked to a doctor yesterday that's, had private practice for 25 years, and it was never set up that way, and has really, lost control of his staff because it's just encouraging them to do this, and they're just sort of doing the bare minimum to keep things running, but not he's still stuck in everything, still has to have his hands in everything and micromanaging. So, and we started this off talking about how the functional medicine industry gaslights new practitioners into playing small. They don't even talk about any of this stuff. They're
No.
still in, the lone wolf thing. And that's one of the things from, FM 1.0 to FM 2.0. No, you want to, like we'll say from the beginning, you want to build a team. Doesn't mean you have to have a huge team, but you're going to want some help. You don't want it that everything has to go through you. That you have to answer every phone call, every email, every text, every portal question. Like, are you kidding me? That's stressful. I've been there and done that. That's how I know all these levels. That's not fun. So, yeah, FM 2.0, we have to do it differently. And FM 1.0 like taught you to second guess everything, undercharge, over refer, avoid leadership, nothing about hiring, nothing about running a business. I don't think they ever mentioned taxes. Hello. Like this is a reality we need to deal with. And it's almost like they create a sick, the same sick care hierarchy that we saw in like hospital administration, but now it's just a, like same scenario, slightly different language. So we didn't like remove the hierarchy, we softened it. But yeah, the reality check is we got to like empower these practitioners, and it's not overnight, but teach them what it means to be a practitioner, be a business owner, be a leader, create an intentional life, and learn how to be decisive. I'm teaching a class, actually. I don't know if you saw it on the calendar, Alder, but I'm teaching, it's just for clients, so it's inside the program, but I'm teaching them how business owners make decisions in 5 to 15 minutes max, what that looks like, what the real criteria is for it, what the consequences are, how it plays out, the sequelae, why it works. But every person who's successful and a high performer, they're decisive.
100%. 100%. It's funny you mentioned, we started out with the industry gaslighting, but it's such a slippery slide straight into like what we teach our practitioners and how they can advocate for themselves and make those decisions to become business owners, because that's what essentially all these gurus are teaching. They're trying to show you, this is how I'm a CEO. But they keep that separation between where they are and who they're teaching and how they get there. And I am proud to be part of something that doesn't do that, and very excited to continue to empower practitioners to make quick decisions, be more proactive in their businesses, understand that anytime that you're going to be doing any sorts of clinical, it's a business, right? You have to have the business component there, or else not only are you doing yourself an injustice, because I know that a lot of healthcare practitioners, like they're very, they're selfless because they're healers and they're helpers, but you're doing the people you're trying to help an injustice as well. It matters for who you help too. And so it's an important message from the top all the way to the bottom.
Well, and when you set it up right, the truth is you actually get a lot more freedom. You'll be much better at giving individual and personalized care. You'll know when to refer, when not to. You'll actually develop a whole community, either in your clinic or outside your clinic, of specialists that you use as needed and feeling confident when to give that referral. You'll stop waiting for practitioners. You're going to price responsibly, but also accurately, what it takes to sustain a business and really drive this outcome for this patient and help them get that transformation, instead of pricing from insecurity. How to make decisions and then refine based on the outcome, and really the understanding that confidence is built through action, right? That's the most important thing. You don't become confident by waiting. So don't let someone gaslight you into waiting. And this doesn't mean, like one of the things I said, so just back to the clinical standpoint, you could have a very successful practice and just work on like upper digestion. You would still help a lot of people, and other issues you could refer out for. So there's always something you can start with. It doesn't mean you have to start like, oh, I know everything, I'm going to do everything. You can start where you are and then keep growing and, widen the people you'll serve as your knowledge grows. But there is nothing more valuable, and the best teacher ever is the doing. So ask yourself, all my practitioners that's listening, is the functional medicine industry actually protecting patients, or is it protecting its own relevance? Okay. So FM 2.0 isn't anti-education. We have an education company, right? But it's designed to train you and then graduate you into being the practitioner, using the tools that help with your efficiency, your productivity, your sanity, right? All these important things. It's not designed to keep you dependent. And we don't build better care by shrinking the people that are delivering it. We build it by teaching practitioners where to find the resources, how to get the answers so they can trust themselves to grow, decide, and lead. That's functional medicine 2.0. So listeners, thank you for being here. Alder, thanks so much for chiming in. So appreciate it. All the work you do every day. And everyone, I'll see you